On the banks of the South Fork of the Licking River in northeastern Kentucky, near the town of Cynthiana, the Ammerman family is continuing a tradition that began long before Europeans came to America. That tradition is tobacco. Mike Ammerman is currently in charge of the day-to-day operation of the family business.
You know, my great-great-grandparents grew tobacco, and I knew my grandfathers personally, and I knew them. And they sold tobacco and farmed and struggled, came through the Depression, and then for me to be able to stand here, 50, 60 years later, and we're taking what we grow from the absolute beginning and put on a store shelf to see that, there's a lot of pride in that for us. It's kind of like a dream come true,
It's still 3 days till the beginning of spring, but already work has begun on this year's crop of burley tobacco. In this greenhouse on the Ammerman family farm, tobacco seeds will become seedlings to be transplanted into the fields. First, styrofoam trays are filled with potting soil, specifically developed for the hydroponic germination of tobacco seeds.
Tobacco seed are one of the few seeds that have to have sunlight to germinate. You cannot put a tobacco, if you put a tobacco seed under the soil and cover it, like planting corn or beans or anything like that, it won't germinate. The tobacco seed has to have sunlight to germinate. So we're going to drop that seed on top of this tray, on top of the soil. We're going to flip that tray upside down, cut the vacuum off, and then that seed's going to fall down into the tray.
These are clay-coated seed. Actual tobacco seed is almost too small to see. Flip it over and turn the vacuum off. And that drops one seed per tray, or per hole on every tray.
With the seeds in place, the trays are floated in shallow reservoirs of water that will eventually fill the entire greenhouse.
Foam trays have, like I said, 242 cells, but holes through the bottom so the water, we call it wicking up. So that potting soil will draw the water up, and we're growing the plants hydroponically. So when we take this to the field, there'll be white tobacco roots coming out of here. Looks like a big old shaggy dog.
It will take 8 to 10 days for these seeds to germinate, and about 2 weeks for visible leaves to develop.
The next stage we like to see is about as big as a dime. And then a week or so after that, they're going to start what we call leaving the ground. They're going to start heading up, and then these plants will probably be 6 or 7 inches tall when they're transplanted.
In the early stages of a tobacco seedling's life, temperature control is critical. The greenhouse is designed with that in mind.
We don't want it to get over 90 degrees in here, or they're going to get too hot and wilt down. So we have the side curtains are on a thermostat. So we set the thermostat on about 90 degrees. As it heats up in the morning, the curtains will come, they actually drop. They use these curtains also on like poultry houses and hog houses. And then as it cools off in the evening, the curtains are going to come up. We have 2 propane heaters, but probably keep it about 50 degrees at nighttime. We want it about no more than 90 degrees in the daytime.
The future home of the seedlings is the fields of the Ammerman family farm. Bordered by the Licking River, this soil is exceptionally rich and productive.
This farm is Ashton or elk soil. All of it is classified like that, and it is good stuff.
But before the seedlings can be transplanted, first, the soil must be prepared. This is done using a special piece of equipment called a switch plow. Each time the tractor turns, the plowshares reverse their angle, allowing the field to be plowed to a consistent depth without deadheads or unplowed ridges, or dead furrows or overplowed ditches.
We're throwing the dirt all one way, and we don't ever have a dead head, and we don't ever have a dead furrow, so the ground comes out a lot leveler. So with this switch plow, where we switch it back from side to side, we just start on one side. It's like mowing your grass. You start on one side and you just move all the way across the field, and you don't have the dead heads or the dead furrows to deal with.
From seed to seedling to plowed ground, there's still a long way to go before this crop of tobacco is ready to meet the exacting standards of the Ammerman family.
What the basics are, to throw back to what your granddad used to smoke. But you know, we tell people, you know, don't smoke, don't start smoking. But if you have made the adult decision to smoke, you need to smoke Kentucky's Best.